This is Jeremiah chapter 30, verse 5. For thus saith Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai, we have heard a voice of trembling, of fear, and not of peace. Ask ye now, and see whether a man doth travail with child. Wherefore do I see every man with his hand on his loins, as a woman in travail, and all faces are turned into paleness. At last, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. Shalom, shalom. Before I begin this lesson, I want to give all praise, honor, and the glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Brakah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops of Great Millstone that rule well. Peace and blessings be multiplied on all you brethren, teaching his word in all sincerity and in truth. Shalom to the hopeful elect, 144,000. I'm the brother Dama Agabar, here with another lesson, Lord willing to edify through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. All right, because we're definitely entering into the time of Jacob's trouble, which you have, particular of these Israelite groups who say that, the time of that we were in slavery, the transatlantic slavery, the hell that we caught, when we first came here to the Americas and all that stuff was Jacob's trouble, and it's already passed. But as we know, that is not true. All right. We know that Jacob's trouble is linked directly, with our salvation. And, before we're fully out of this captivity, the Lord is going to bring Jacob's trouble ultimately to judge, 2/3 of our people. And we know that, we're entering into the days to where, like it says in Daniel 12, it's going to get so bad that Michael's going to have to stand up, on behalf of the elect and save us from the persecution, from all hell that is going to come down upon you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans in these last days, man. And we can see the stage is being set for that. As I know, brothers have been seeing these so-called protests that is taking place in, LA and, I think in Chicago and New York, and it's only going to escalate further as, the so-called immigration policies of the Trump administration is causing, Jacob to be roused up, which, we know better than that. We know that a lot of this shit is being orchestrated and, a lot of it is being orchestrated. And, a lot of those people that are out there protesting, a lot of those people are trained, brought and paid for cronies, of George Soros and of these elites and of the Democrats to basically cause more chaos and to cause more, the plan to bring order out of the chaos, man. And the main, you got some simple-minded ass Issacharites and Jake that's going to be out there protesting and marching and walking and, being involved in it. But really, there's, a bigger agenda behind it all. And the ones that's going to suffer the most from this is going to be you northern tribes, man. And eventually, and it's going to eventually trickle down to the southern tribes, you so-called Negroes. All right, because this is setting the stage for them to bring in martial law. It's setting the stage for, martial law to be enacted, for them to to enact the Insurrection Act and basically be used as a way to, to come down with that great wrath upon all of you, Jake, and deem all of you terrorists, man. And also to bring in this digital ID system, this, to bring in the mark of the beast, but ultimately to bring the order out of the chaos. And it's going to eventually end up hurting you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans in the long run. All right. So that they can deem you terrorists, man, so that they can come down with that great wrath that a prophecy says these devils are going to do. And all of you Jake that are out there protesting this shit and going along with it, you're just really setting the stage for you to be heavily persecuted, man. All right, to be locked up, be thrown in concentration camps, Now they're talking about bringing, they already brought the National Guard. Now they're talking about bringing in the Marines, man. And basically, in this article, pretty soon it's going to get to the point to where these individuals are going to be given the permission to fire on sight. And they're not going to be firing rubber bullets or, tear can canisters. Pretty soon they're going to start unleashing live rounds upon you protesters out there, man. And it's all just setting the stage for these devils to bring in this new world order and ultimately to bring in the time of Jacob's trouble. Because like I said, you tribes are going to be the biggest loser in all of these things. And, this just might be the summer of chaos and violence that these devils have been planning So let's read some of this. I got a couple precepts, man. But hey, it's just the same thing over and over. This is no different from the BLM and from other orchestrated, events like this, which is going to be ultimately used to set the stage for these devils to, to bring in martial law, to be able to bring in some of these executive orders to basically turn this place into a damn prison, man. But it says President Trump has pledged to liberate Los Angeles from Soros-funded invaders. Vowing, yeah, right, and that's another thing that these devils are saying. This is an invasion. They see, like I said, we know this shit is orchestrated. The people are out there burning American flags and waving Mexican flags. You people are only bringing, they're only setting the stage to bring more hell upon you tribes, man. All right. Burning American flags and shit and waving the Mexican flag. Now these Edomites are saying it's an invasion. And I was watching one video and I was reading the comments, and you got a lot of these Edomites saying, look, Trump should deputize all MAGA supporters and all Trump supporters, and allow us to basically to be deputized and militiaized to cleanse America of all of these invaders, man. So this is going to eventually lead to civil war as well. It's going to start rubbing these red-blooded Americans a particular way. All of these Trump supporters who feel that one of the reasons why America is not great again is because you tribes are fucking everything up. All of you invaders, they got black fatigue. Now they're about to have Southern tribe fatigue, you so-called Latin tribe fatigue. And basically, the only way to to bring order and make America great again is to basically to get you niggas and you Latinos the hell up out of here, man. They was talking about we should set up a taco stand and have like 20,000 free tacos and poison it so we can poison all of these invaders so that they can just drop off and die, and the rest will just deport back, to wherever they come from. See, so it's definitely setting the stage, man, to bring Jacob's trouble. It's going to bring civil war. It's going to bring more division, more anger, more violence, So, hey, it is what it is, man. But we know it's all to fulfill prophecy. It says, vowing to deploy the full force of the federal government to crush the coordinated migrants riots engulfing the city. You see? And who knows, man? I was watching videos, the motherfuckers, and where the hell they getting all these bricks from? And then you got the LAPD, they're, looking like they're just defenseless and helpless. They were destroying all of their cop cars, had the cop cars on the freeway with the windshield blown out. You had this one guy on the side of the road literally throwing bricks as the ICE vehicles was driving down the street, man. So, hey, man, it's going to get crazy. And then, again, you got to remember, a lot of these guys had their face covered. A lot of those people are brought and paid for agents, man. A lot of those could be Edomites pretending to be so-called Mexicans and a certain, people from Colombia or whatever, disguising themselves as so-called Latinos, stoking the flames, man. And now they're planning even more and more protests. So like I said, this could possibly be the new BLM, but now it just has a Latino face. And then they got this other organization called Union Barrios or something like that, which, we know who they're being funded by, man. But we know eventually it's all just going to lead to prophecy being fulfilled and Jacob's trouble upon you Jakes, man. And this is why, you Jake out there who not in the right spirit, who hasn't really come back to Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, you're not taking the warning from the prophet seriously, and you're caught up in all of this confusion and mayhem. Hey, man, a lot of you are going to be destroyed by it when it's when it fully gets to where it needs to get. But anyways, it says the escalating crisis in California has prompted this bold response, with Trump emphasizing his commitment to ending the migrant invasion and restoring order by confronting the chaos head on. You see that? The chaos, ending the chaos. You see, this is all part of their order out of chaos, man. A lot of this shit is being orchestrated. A lot of this is being quarterbacked, man. Now, of course, you're going to have some people who are, sincerely out there protesting, maybe not with the plans of being violent. But like I said, you have that violent element already, put into this thing by the powers that be that are being funded, man. You better believe they're putting out emails for agent provocateurs, for people to go out and to be at this place at a particular time Don't be surprised if you start seeing more and more bricks just randomly being laid out there where these people are protesting at, Molotov cocktails and all type of shit, man. Because, hey, these devils at the end of the day, they need this, man, to help them to get to where they need things to be. And this is Revelations 12:12. It says, therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. You see? And this is part of this devil, putting these things in place so that he can be justified in coming down with that wrath. And what did Trump say? He's what did it say? His commitment to ending the migrant invasion by restoring order, by confronting the chaos head on. And what it say? That he's willing to go, he's willing to do whatever he needs to do to get this thing shut down. You see, it says order will be restored. The illegals will be expelled, Trump declared on Sunday evening. You see? And like I said, and they're doing all of these ICE raids in these different particular places. Oh, my woman was showing me videos other day over here where we stay, which is about an hour outside of LA. They was over here where we live going to graduations, they was going to elementary school graduations. They was grabbing up the parents out of the award ceremonies, putting zip ties on them, made the children come out. They was putting zip ties on the children. Because over here where we stay, there's a National Guard place not too far, and people was recording them mounting up and getting ready to do more raids. About an hour east of LA out here in this area in the Inland Empire, man. You see, so what is that going to do? It's going to cause more of these people to riot and to protest. And like I said, we just know that the stage is being set, man. At this time they're going to talking about bringing the Marines and more military. So it is what it is, man. All right. We see where these things are going. And let's read this. This is what Donald Trump said. It says, a once great American city, Los Angeles, has been invaded and occupied by illegal aliens and criminals. You see, and that's the thing. They're going to start labeling all you Jakes as criminals at the end of the day. And also they were grabbing up Mexicans so-called foreigners that was, they was arresting them at the immigration hearings. Some of them who have been on their path to getting legal citizenship, even they're being grabbed up and taken and zip tied and put in paddy wagons and deported. It's just all stoking the flames, man. Getting Jake riled up, getting Jake in the spirit of fighting back. It says, now violent insurrectionist mobs are swarming and attacking our federal agents to try and stop our deportation operations. But these lawless riots only strengthen our resolve. You see, like I said, it's going to be, there's no action without a reaction. You see? It says, I am directing Secretary of Homeland Security Kristi Noem, Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth, and Attorney General Pam Bondi, in coordination with all other relevant departments and agencies, to take all such action necessary to liberate Los Angeles from the migrant invasion. You see, like I said, those guys out there flying Mexican flags and shit like that. They was burning American flags. You got to see what all these things are setting the stage for, man. Setting the stage for this devil to come down with that great wrath on you Jakes, man. It says, and put an end to those migrant riots. Order will be restored, the illegals will be expelled, and Los Angeles will be set free. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Remember, like I said, this is stoking up a lot of these MAGA supporters, a lot of these Edomites out here who see this as a problem, who see this as a reason why these illegals need to be taken the hell out of here. They don't have no real loyalty to America. Yeah, they're living in America. Their children might be American citizens, but their loyalty lies back to Mexico. So these Edomites just saying, well, send their ass back to Mexico then. If they love Mexico so much, they're flying these Mexican flags, then send their ass back where they belong. We don't need them here. You see? And this is causing what? More and more civil war, more and more division. As the scripture say, if any kingdom divided is not going to be able to stand. You see? It says also on Sunday, Trump stood with Secretary of State Marco Rubio and told the press that California officials will face charges if they stand in the way of law enforcement. You see? It says Trump stressed that he will use any means necessary to maintain law and order. You see? So you people out there, don't be surprised if these devils start using lethal force. Start taking it to a whole nother level, man. You see, hey, and Trump Nero, he is that guy, man. Remember, he's that cruel Lord in Isaiah the 19th chapter that was prophesied to rule over Babylon the Great America, man. And they're still gonna go forward with this deportation shit. They're not gonna stop, man. It's just gonna get more and more brutal. And that's why, we've been telling you, Jake, man, hey, a lot of y'all gonna get caught up in this sweep. A lot of you dumbass people out here, you tribes are gonna be out there marching and standing. This ain't right, man. They can't do this, man, and all this other bullshit. Hey, your ass is gonna be caught up in it too. This is Proverbs chapter 22, verse 3. I read it in the NLT. It says, a prudent person foresees danger and takes precautions. The simpleton goes blindly on and suffers the consequences. And that's what's going to happen to a lot of you, Jake, man. A lot of you going to get caught up in the consequences of blindly running into shit like this, thinking that you're standing up for your people. Yeah, we know that, L.A., Texas, and different parts of America used to be Mexico. But, hey, that has nothing to do with, us being Israelites and us returning to Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Remember, this place is not our rest, man. All right. And our true home is back over there in the Middle East in Jerusalem, man. All right. But like I said, a lot of these Jakes, man, they don't even know, this stage that is being set for you Jakes, man. And it's all coming to Jacob's trouble. And a lot of you Jake are going to be caught up in this shit to where, you're going to find yourself in a very bad situation. Because your priorities and your mind frames are in the wrong direction, man. You need to be looking towards Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai and getting yourself right and coming back to the Lord, man. Repenting of your sins and your transgressions, cleaning up your life, and coming back to Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai in all hopes that you can be part of the elect and be delivered from, Jacob's trouble, from being locked in these prisons, being thrown in a concentration camp, being slapped with a micro C-hip inside your ass, or worse, So Jake need to wake the hell up, man. But like I said, hey, we know that prophecy has to be fulfilled, and all this stuff is just setting the stage to bring in Jacob's trouble, man. All right. And if you ain't with Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai when these things come, hey, man, you're not going to stand a chance, man. This is Isaiah chapter 59, verse 19. So shall they fear the name of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai from the west, and his glory from the rising of the sun. When the enemy shall come in like a flood, the spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai shall lift up a standard against him. And the Redeemer shall come to Zion, and unto them that turn from transgression in Jacob, saith Yahweh. You see? Only for those that have returned from transgression in Jacob will the Lord come to, will come to the aid of. The rest of you Jake out there, man, you're going to be devoured. All right? And the Lord's going to let Esau on the left hand do it. All right. And this is Daniel 12. It says here, the time of the end. And at that time shall Michael stand up, that great prince which standeth for the children of thy people. And there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. And at that time thy people shall be delivered, everyone that shall be found written in the book. And that's ultimately the elect, man. And that's how bad it's going to get. And this is what situations like this are going to eventually lead up to, the time of Jacob's trouble, the time to where, it's going to get so bad out here that Michael's going to have to stand up, man. So now they had the National Guard. Now he's talking about bringing the Marines into this thing, and pretty soon he might have to enact that Insurrection Act, do away with habeas corpus, man. Be able to just round up whoever, these devils deem to be round upable, and it's going to be a whole lot of you tribes, a lot of you Jakes, even a lot of you so-called Negro tribes, man. I saw this one video of this one Jake, this nigga out here crying. This ain't right, man. I'm a teacher at the school. They coming in there rounding up the parents. They just hardworking people trying to get jobs, which, we understand you got a lot of Jake that come from these different places that's coming here to America for a better life. But at the end of the day, are they trying to get right with Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai? Are they not returning from their transgressions and coming back to the Lord? And for the majority of them, they're not, man. A lot of them are coming here. Yeah, they're trying to make, do better, make better lives. They'll come here, they'll work, they'll send the money back over there to Mexico. But at the end of the day, none of that shit matters, man. Are you repenting from your transgressions and returning back to Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. For you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, whether you're an American citizen or you come here from a different country to America and you're of, the 12 tribes of Israel. That's what it's all about. All right. And if, hey, you ain't right, and if you ain't written within the book, man, hey, when these things intensify and get to that point, the only thing that's going to matter is if you're of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai or not, man. And you, Jake, don't have no excuse. All right. This truth has gone out throughout the four corners of the earth. Brothers is out there kicking this word and this truth in Espanol over there in Los Angeles and in different parts of Babylon the Great. So ain't nobody without no excuse at the end of the day, man. And those of you that, like I said, you're not foreseeing the evil, and you're moving in this simpleton mind frame. Hey, you're going to pass on, and you're going to be punished, man. And you're going to be taken, and it's going to be what it's going to be, man. So, hey, man, we're going to keep our eye on this, see how it's going to intensify. We know, a lot of these sanctuary city states are going to, the mayors and the governors, they're going to allow this shit to happen to where it intensifies and to where it's going to get to a point to where, hey, man, all hell's going to break loose, man. Right. And it's going to be what it's going to be. So with that, I'm going to close this out. Didn't want to let this go too long, but we'll definitely be keeping our eye on it. So, hey, Lord willing, this is edifying. All praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. We're putting the spirit in me to do this lesson. Lord willing, you're edified to the next one. Shalom.